All right, it's another midweek fixture. It's Palace away. Let's have a chat. All right, hello and welcome to the MatchDayVlogs YouTube channel. As always, please remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already, because it really does make a difference to the channel. Right, we're here this evening to talk about the upcoming fixture for Selhurst Park for Crystal Palace away. But before that, we are going to have to talk about the weekend's result. So should we get into that? Welcome to everyone in the chat section, by the way. Let us know where you're watching the show from. It's always fun to know. And also, before I jump any further, I did put a poll on the community section of the YouTube page where we'll get into a discussion on that at the end of the show. So if you haven't yet put your vote in, I won't spoil what it's about. Might be obvious to guess what it's about. But stick your vote in there and I'll be going through that at the end of this show as well. So let's get into it, shall we? So, Arsenal 3, Southampton 0. Very similar picture to what we've seen. It felt really oddly familiar to the game that me and you went to see a few seasons back, where effectively it wasn't much to talk about, but the fact that we're suddenly 2-0 down at half-time and it's game over. That game, I think, actually finished 2-0 and that's the end of that. But this one ended 3-0. My take on the game, just quickly, I think we started quite well. I think we looked very, very good. And then ultimately we were just torn about by an aggressive counter-attacking football by Arsenal. And Ward-Prowse tracking back got Bednarek confused and he didn't know where he was. Bosh, they score a goal. Poor old Willie's not got a clean sheet and nothing to show for it. Second goal, again, I'm going to have to put blame at the defeat of the defenders. They should really deal with a ball like that. If you're going to have it bouncing around the area, eventually it's going to go in. And the third goal, I'm sorry, that's Willie's fault. He should have either stayed where he was or just been more commanding, because he looked about 4'1" when that goal went in. And it really wasn't good enough. It looked like we just shut off in the second half. But the first half, yeah. But the odd thing about it, sorry, I will let you speak in a minute, Jack. So I'm just whittling on here. But I just want to bring up this banner here, because it kind of tells a picture. And that is basically the stats of the game themselves. And when you look at this, in a game that you lose 3-0, you don't ordinarily expect to have more shots on target than the team you just lost 3-0 to. Kind of paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so that's my lead in for you. There you go.
It's the same old story, you know, everywhere we go. I don't know what it is, mate. It seems that Ralph sets them up very well going into a match. We go into a game, you think, yeah, this side looked good. Right. Tactically, this is right. Everything's going okay. And then suddenly it's really not going okay. And they can't adapt from there. That just seems to be what's happening. And it's all over the place. The things that we had corrected so well at the beginning of the season have really sort of fallen apart. I think Bednarek and Stevens is just a terrible combination. Yeah, it's really, really bad. Is this the first time those two started together like that since the United game?
Quite possibly, yeah. Well, when did Stevens get injured?
That was towards the end of last season. So that was Selhurst, because it was like Selhurst came in towards the end of last season, and it was Selhurst and Bednarek. In the beginning of this season,
Stevens has played this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it was Selhurst at the beginning of the season. It was also
and
Bednarek. It was Selhurst and Stevens, and Stevens went out, and it's been Bednarek. So this is probably one of the first times we've seen them since then.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, mate, I'm not saying that we should drop every single player that was in both of those 9 feet. At this point, I'm looking at it and I think, yeah, every defensive player that was in those 2-9-0 haven't bounced back from it.
Yeah,
Stevens is by far the one who has the most, but I think out of everyone who should be defeated, the one at the back running on that team shouldn't be the guy. But if you look at I went through, because I was annoyed. I went through the 9-0 defenses. And I think, yeah, just get rid of them.
God, you've really gone through it, have you? Oh my!
Do you know what it is? It's like I was talking about comparing McCarthy to Gum. and how you can't concede 9 and come back from it,
You're right.
and you're not been the same since. And the McCarthy hasn't been the same since. And I think I look at it as well. Has Bednarak really ever been the same since that game? Has Bednarak ever been as good as he was since before that game? Has Bednarak he reached that point that he's now like, what can we do with him here? Like because he's in both of them. So he was in the first 9-0, then even worse second one for him with the young goal and a red card.
Yep.
You know, are we at a point now where we have to look at Bednarak and think you'll not be one of those players as well where you're now definitely third in the chain? We'll do our lineup. We'll do our lineup a bit. And I think Bednarak has gone from being to nope.
Yeah, and in the game at Arsenal, I mean, we did make a change to go to like a 5 at the back, you know, working with 3 centre backs, bringing on Lianco. Just makes me even more nervous when they do that. I mean, as a kind of like a, you know, a band-aid sort of sticking it on there. I just
but I do think it looked better. It looked better once the at the back. I felt it shored it up a lot. You know, it just looked a lot better.
But is that the fact because Bednarek's not doing his job and he can't do it? The fact that you're sticking an extra centre back on there really just costing yourself a player.
I think that in that situation there, it is that position was covering over Bednarak, who wasn't playing well enough, and you're better off putting somebody else on rather than taking him off because I'd always rather add a centre back than take one off and add like you need to support it rather than take it away.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like if you started with 3 at the back again, it would be a lot stronger. But you just wouldn't start with Bednarak. I think kind of he just lacks what he used to be.
Yeah.
You know, or what he could have been. And there's been no progression for a whole year with Bednarak. So I'm like, sorry, mate, but maybe you need to come out the team for a bit. Much like McCarthy, I think needs to go. If you go through the whole list, you want to take all defensive players that play for both of those matches.
What I did want to do was actually maybe go through the whole squad on Saturday and actually give like a mark out of 10. If you want to do that.
Oh, we'll definitely go through that, mate. We're going to have a lot to do on the train tomorrow, so
yeah. We can be one of those channels that just points fingers and go, he was rubbish, he was all right. No, but it's mainly to sort of highlight the fact of who I actually thought had a good... Do you know what? Let's not tonight because we've got a lot to chat about, but I just think the likes of Nathan Redmond had a good game. And I think there were lots of things where he did quite well. And so, yeah, there were positives.
Bednarak might be the only senior player in the squad right now that's playing to where a senior player should be playing. Like Redmond is the one right now coming out on the pitch and playing at that mark and with the passion that you want to see out of your senior players. Ward-Prowse puts in that effort, but I wouldn't say. But I think that we can all agree the past few games he's not been where he needs to be. Let's be honest. There was 2 free kicks in that game, which probably should have. It should have been 3-2. Let's be fair. Like. Last season, he puts those in. So, you know, there's things to be said about everyone. But for me right now, Redmond is that senior player that everyone can look to and be like, putting in that effort.
Absolutely. Credit where it is due. And the likes of Tino, I always get that confused about it is Tino. I end up saying Timo, but it's Tino because it's Valentino. He hasn't looked amazing. And I think that he's kind of looked average for the last few games, which is kind of sort of getting people on his back, i.e. me, because I'm expecting amazing things from him. So, mixed on that one. But yeah, I would agree what's happened to Tino.
Well, I've been saying it for weeks that we need to rest him. We need to put him away because he can't keep doing that week in, week out. We know Ralph will run him into the ground because that's what he's going to do, especially in that position. I understand exactly why Ralph does it.
Yeah.
But you can't keep doing it with a player that young and expect him to carry that weight the entire time. You need to switch it around. And here's the thing: I would understand it if you're like, well, he doesn't play, who plays? But it's like, well, you've got Kyle Walker-Peters and Peru. Like and we all agree that Peru works. Peru, every week it's a question whether Kyle Walker-Peters will start because Peru is really, really good and defensive on that side, and he's never going to get in front of Tino now. So.
Yeah,
I think we've got to start resting him a little bit and understand that it'll be okay. In fact, you might not the melee on Tino or anything, but Kyle Walker-Peters is wicked down the wing.
Yeah,
if you put him back on his correct side, Imagine if we put him back on that side and he gives us an assist and a goal, maybe. Do you know what I mean? And he works like. Then we're gonna have real issues again.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the good way, unlike what it is becoming up front right now in the bad way.
Lordo Bennett isn't he a doubt for this game? I guess you're talking about Tino. He's had a muscle cut. I don't even know what that means. I had it in the presser. Like he's got a cut on his muscle. Does that mean it's underneath the skin and on the actual? I've never heard. Have you heard that?
Mate, I don't even have muscles. So. I am jelly.
Shredded. It's got cuts. Cut and shredded. Nice.
I am just jelly and bone marrow. I'm floppy.
Yeah, actually. Have we said enough about Arsenal? Can we move on? Is it? Were you, honestly speaking, were you realistic? I felt okay on Saturday night because, if I'm honest, I wasn't really expecting anything from this game.
I think that we lose to a bad 3-0. We lose 3-0 to a bad Arsenal side. We lost 3-0 to like Emirates to the Emirates side. We always make it hard against Arsenal. So coming out of it 3-0, I'm like, well, yeah. It's the sort of like coming out of the Liverpool games. Like, I expect to lose to that chunk of the table pretty much all the time. Going to the Emirates is no different. It's kind of Wednesday's game where I'm like, right, it is where we need to get points.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So no, the only bad thing was like I said, I was watching it in a house full of Arsenal fans, and there were not only that, but one of them was a 10-year-old Arsenal fan, so he knows well enough to talk smack, but he knows full well that I can't go back at him.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, mate, because it will snap pretty quick, and as much as I know his dad would find it hilarious,
take the rude
I
words
wouldn't be able to do it.
Fine.
I couldn't do it, mate. I know that like on here, like we like somewhat suppress it, but if I'm being worked up enough to argue with a 10-year-old, mate, that language is coming out because I'm going to teach him some stuff, and I will win through that language. Like if I argue with a smart person, then use big words, and I'm like, I can't fight that. If I argue with a child, I use intense swear words, and they're like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
It's tough.
The fear.
Well, that result does leave us in, where are we? 16th with 16 games played, with 16 points. Ooh, that's spooky, isn't it? Yeah. God, does anyone else have that in the league? No, they don't. It's weird.
So
spooky,
we win.
Yeah, that's I suddenly realise how eerie that is. Anyway, let's start talking about Arsenal. We can't do anything about it. We didn't get anything from it. We can move on. Any thoughts on Willie's performance?
I think he really wasn't helped out by his defenders. I think that's the big thing for the first 2 goals.
Yeah.
And even on the third one, you're right, he should have been bigger. But also, there wasn't a single other Saints player around him there to sort of break up that from the defender, from the attacker on Willie. Like, you would have thought that's the moment to send, who was off on the pitch? To send like Teller or someone in just to break that up a little bit. Somebody small, so he's not going to get in the way, so he can jump over him.
Stop the run of Gabriel.
Exactly. Just like you're right. He should have been bigger. He was made to look small. But again, I think he could have been helped out a lot better there. And, it is his first game. And let's be fair, he hasn't played football in a good year, maybe. I mean, he maybe played a bit for Chelsea towards in the last season, maybe in a cup or something like that. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But, he's not played for probably a year. He's been training with Wimbledon. But, first game back, sort of, right in the deep end of things. So, yeah, it's not a great debut from him, but I don't think it's his fault. And he's coming to a Southampton side that's a bit like, whoa, shaky legs right now, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's his first game, so we're going to give him, well, we have to. We don't have a choice, do we? Yeah. So what we're going to do, but it is his first game back in the Premier League for at least a year and a bit. So it will take time. Right, moving on to the reason for the show. Talking about Crystal Palace against Southampton up at Selhurst Park. It's going to be our first away day, Jack, together.
Hey, for a long time.
Yeah.
Right, hold on. What about, mate? We did the bees at the beginning of the season.
It's true. We did Salisbury Bees. An emphatic win. by Thierry
Up the
Small and the
beast.
lads. Yeah. Sorry, seen you and the lads. So yeah, upcoming game. Crystal Palace have just come off a win against Everton. Did you watch that game? 3-1 win.
I did indeed. When they scored that third just before, like, because he booted the ball at the back of Zaha, very petty. I
Yeah.
did just say, I really hope this goes in. That'd be hilarious. And when it went in, we jumped up. We were like, oh, get that! And then I quickly realised, oh, we're playing it Wednesday. Oh no!
Yeah, yeah. I mean that result. I mean, it's actually their first win. They've been kind of on a similar-ish run to us, but they haven't been picking up any points in the last three prior to that. They lost 1-0 to Man United away. I think that was Ralph Rangnick's first game, wasn't it?
But not a bad performance from Palace, as I recall.
No, not a bad performance. And then prior to that, they were away at Leeds. They lost 1-0. Ellen Road's a difficult place to go. They lost 2-1 to Villa. That would have been Gerrard's second game, because it was Brighton the first one. And then before that, they conceded 3 away at Burnley, but also scored 3. And so they haven't had a win since yesterday. But prior to that, it was actually the 2-0 against Wolves. So for me, they look a lot better side than they did last season. And I think actually I'm kind of quietly impressed by what Patrick Vieira's been able to do there, because effectively at the end of last season, it was a case of Roy Hodgson's going, and guess what? The entire squad's out of contract. So you have to figure it out. And they've come out amazing. I mean, from the squad that they seem to appear, they've got this guy, Conor Gallagher, who just looks absolutely insane. He's on loan from Chelsea, probably having a similar kind of conversation as what we're having with Armando Broja with the hierarchy at Chelsea, but he looks quite a formidable force. But is there anyone in particular or any aspects of Wednesday game that you're worried or concerned about?
Do you know what it is? It's after when you watch that the Everton game, what they are a team like us, but they're a team like us that have got a bit of an upswing and a fire in their belly and a bit of a motivation to kick on from a 3-1 against Everton, a great result. It's a wicked, great goals. All of them were, and they really put Everton out of the game. And it's just like when you see, the way Ayew and Zaha are playing, and you compare it to last season. Okay, they were probably Palace's best players last season.
Yeah.
But you see them now, they're like, oh, there's a fire to them. There's a bit more intensity to them, and I feel like that's not good for us. Like we need them to come out. We needed them to come out dry. On Wednesday, we need them to come out and misstep a little bit. I feel like for us to get a result, it's a little bit on them having a bit of a stumble out of the gates.
Yeah,
we need both gates because we can't do. We need both halves for that to stumble. So. Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about it in the sense that these are the games like we said, we lose to Arsenal, you're like, when it's Arsenal, we lose to bad Arsenal sides. You lose to Liverpool, you're like, oh, yeah, of course we are. They're insane right now. But Palace is like, right, we need to be picking up points to Palace here. This is where we can jump up a few. This is where we can move a little bit. This is where we find a bit of footing. This is a good win for us right now. So. I'm nervous about it, to be honest. I think it's more nervous because I'm spending money to go to London. I'm like, please don't let me go all the way there.
Jack, we can't lose.
We can't lose.
Got a away day in London, isn't it?
Got to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm getting that Lianco shirt. I'm going to bring a sign.
Football.
I'm not bringing a sign.
We go football with cans on the train. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You can love it.
Just Iron Brews there, Mike, because this is a kid-friendly show.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, lovely stuff. I think from my side, from Palace, it's like you were always worried about a Palace side when they got Wilfried Zaha fit, and if he was out injured, you'd be like, "Whee!" But now there's other players of clear quality, one of which on our screen here. But there's other players that I haven't heard of yet, but they looked very, very solid, and they look dangerous in terms of what they were able to create. And I think it all depends on us in regards to how well we're set up defensively. If we go in with a kind of we'll see how this works with Stevens and Bednarek and the like, and sort of a bit of a mismatch at the back. The positive for us is we're going to have Salasu back, massive plus, and we're going to have Oro Romeo back. So they're going to be a definite bonus for us to have those players back in the squad. So that is a positive. But the negative, of course, is the fact of Shea Adams is out, and there are question marks, and I would say they're pretty hefty question marks over Brozier and Armstrong's fitness in regards to the injuries that they picked up over the weekend. So pluses and minuses really there.
Well, the chat was asking for it last week. That comment section the last game, we're asking for him. Shane Long's coming to see the day, baby. Shane Long, my friends. Woohoo!
Shane Long and Theo. Dave said, I've been watching your comments. I said he really doesn't like Shane Long. But if that chant comes in, if he's on Shane Long scores, we're on the pitch, that's going to happen. Absolutely. Can you imagine?
I'm definitely getting the Yanko shirt.
So further, should we go into the team sheet lineup? Should we do that?
Let's go take a look see at it, shall we?
See, I'm saying that, but I've forgotten to add that into the... Let me see if this works. Bear with, okay?
Oh, Mike's messed up.
Let's see if this works.
Messed up.
Oh, gosh, where is it? I don't even know where it is. Where's
he
it
doesn't
gone?
even... All right, you've got this, man. You've got this. So, yeah.
let me... Oh, I've got it. Sorry, I was doing another show before this one. It's messed me up. Is it there?
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Sorry, everyone. As we were. Look at that. I've even done the goalkeeper one straight away. So let us know. This is the section of the show where we will be doing the team sheet lineups, where me and Jack will be predicting our 11 who will start against Crystal Palace on Wednesday. This is a prediction of an 11 that we think will happen, right? Are we agreed on that? Because sometimes we do this is what Ralph should definitely do, but it's not what we think he is going to do. But this is going to be one that we think he is going to do, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, we're agreed. So let us know in the chat section what you think Ralph is who you think Ralph is going to put out on the pitch on Wednesday night. And let's get started. So do you think he's going to rest Tino?
No.
No, I don't either.
He should, but I don't think he will.
It's weird because it depends on his fitness. Because if it's the likes of, if he's not 100%, do you want a fully fit Tino for Brentford on Saturday?
What did he say? What did Ralph say at the press conference? Did he say he's got a cut on his muscle, or a cut on his leg, or something? Right?
Yeah.
Then for the meantime, should we just take him out? Let's put Kyle Walker. I think Ralph might be smart enough to say, listen, he's not had the great past couple of games. He's picked up a slight knock. It's more important to have him at Brentford at the weekend because that's serious points. You might as well have a solid defense this week.
Yeah,
and have maybe not attack as much, but still Kyle Walker Peters on that wing, so he's still going to get the same output on it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you're thinking Peru.
Yeah,
on the gotta go for the man
now. Because we're probably going to be playing one up top. Do you reckon he's going to play three at the back?
I don't think he will play one up top.
Sorry, what?
I don't think he's going to put Shane Long up front by himself. No way. Why would he?
I think he might.
No, he won't.
I think he might.
Right, we're going to have to go there straight away. I'll tell you what you think he's going to do. All right
then.
I think he's going to put Redmond and Teller. Or he's going to have Teller on this side and Theo. I want to be wrong, but I just think that's probably what he's going to do.
So rather than playing 4-1-4-1, which is more proven and smarter, you think he's going to do this?
Yep.
You're off your rocker, mate. Not a chance.
It's definitely.
I think.
I'm happy to bow to general opinion, so let me know what you think in the chat section. Oh, the chat section's gone crazy here.
as
Like
they
that.
they should,
No.
as they should. Right, so it won't be 4-1-4-1. It'll be 4-1-3-1-1.
Does that add up to 11?
Yep. 4-4-1.
Because we've done that before. Let's be
3-1-1.
honest.
Yeah, it's fine. Right. So you drop Romeo in
Okay.
number 6, number 3.
All right, I'm going to bow to general opinion here. Okay.
Just favour me.
Okay.
Let me just see how it looks.
Wherever art thou, Romeo? Where are you putting him?
So in the number 6, yeah, drop him back there.
Okay.
And Ward-Prowse up in front of him. And then in front of him in like a number 10, Redmond.
Okay.
And then Shane up top.
You Shane up top?
Yeah.
I think you're all mad.
And then you pop yourself, let's say, a Moy and a Redmond. Don't be silly. Redmond starts on the right nowadays.
Who's the other player? Teller?
No, I put Moy in Redmond. But I put Moy on the left.
Yeah, you still got one player. You want more on the left.
Oh, and then on the other side, I want yeah, Teller. Sorry.
So hang on. What am I doing? What have I got?
So I want Teller there.
Teller.
Yeah.
Oh, capital letters. Polite.
And then, yeah, sorry, you do. Then you pop Moy on the old on the right wing. Oh, you were right. My bad. And then and then Redmond sits slightly higher than Ward-Prowse, but yeah.
To do like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I've said that and put it like that. How do you feel?
How do I feel? I don't know.
And in that way, when Kyle Walker-Peters adds to the attack, which he most definitely will, then it means I'm going to probably start Stevens or Lianco in that other defensive position, that other centre back position.
Okay. I think it'll be Stevens for
let's say Stevens. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So when Kyle Walker-Peters busts forwards, Stevens can pop out to the side there. Romeo can drop deep, and it means Ward-Prowse will drop probably a bit deeper as well, which means he can have fun with Zaha, and that means everybody can have a good time.
Okay, so I'm with you with this. Okay, I'm with you with this. Yeah. Okay. I can see it happening, but I'd be surprised if Long starts.
I just think he wants a striker to start, and I don't think you're better off having your only striker start, your fit striker start, and then towards the end of the game bring a pacier option. Like and towards the game, okay, maybe you start Gineppo instead of Teller, and you put Teller up to top at the end, or you put Theo on, or you do something like that. Either way, you're going to be bodging it in. So this.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
So I'm with James here. I just think Redmond's going to end up playing a striker.
I don't think you'd want that.
No. I have to say though, looking at that centre back pairing, I love Lianco. I think he's a phenomenal, passionate player. But in terms of quality pairings, that's the strongest pairing.
The other way to do it, if you're going to go the other way, is to pop Redmond up top. Is pop Redmond up top.
Okay.
And then pop Redmond up top. Then maybe change Long to Lianco, and put Romeo back in the midfield. So then you're playing with that 3 at the back.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we're not going to do that against a Palace, though, are we?
Do you want to win? Do you want to take points?
No, but I just think in terms of like
setting up. You want to take points?
Yeah, I just don't see him playing 5 at the back against Palace. I don't know.
Mate, remember last time he said, "You won't do anything like that," and he went madder.
Yeah, but that was against a massively changed squad against Chelsea in the cup. That was the biggest shock I've had of a lineup. This season, but that actually worked really well.
And it's going to work. And it's going to work well for me here.
And actually, being very, very honest, if the fact that we've got potentially our three main strikers out injured, it's not like they've been banging in loads of goals, is it? So
it's a bit.
It might sound quite harsh to do that, but
yeah, it's it will light a bit of a fire if anybody performs and anybody scores or anything,
Yeah.
But that kind of comes back to what I was saying to you off air about the coaching staff.
Yes, true.
Which I'm sure we'll get into when we talk about that poll you put up in a bit.
We will. That's going to get proper meaty. Stick around for the end of the show for that.
Yeah, I mean, we're only on 30 minutes now, so I can't see this going over an hour.
No, absolutely. Oh, wait, I think someone's watching the show and they haven't hit like yet, so if you could just do that.
That'd be real helpful of you. Real helpful.
We'll wait, it's fine. It's just down there. Just go. Have you done it? Yes? Cool, thank you very much. Yeah, go and do it now. How dare you, Jack?
I don't watch this show.
It's free to do. It really does help the channel, so thank you so much. Let's see some of these comments here. Let's see what I think. West Ham versus Arsenal. So if I see Shane on that, I make a quick shift to the other. Oh dear, yeah, that'd be a funny one. Striker would not be much of an issue if we had some goals from midfield. James Ward-Prowse has been poor that season in that respect. 100% agree, Mark. It's just a case of, signing new contracts. Probably he's the biggest earner at the club now, isn't he? James Ward-Prowse.
He is.
And he's not doing his basic job of scoring free kicks.
And he's not really getting assists either.
No. And he's
let's
not
be
good
fair.
at
Let's be fair. The two times we've scored from set pieces this season, he hasn't taken the corners. It was Redmond and Teller. Okay, Teller passed it short, but it was still Teller that whipped it in. So, yeah, Ward-Prowse is, a lot of eyes on him right now to be like, come on, you the captain, your highest paid, do something. You got to do this now. This, pressure's on. It's not just you're our boy and we love you. You got to step up and do it.
Yeah.
But the other thing to keep in mind is that Stuart Armstrong's been out injured, and that is where a lot of our midfield goals come from. Yeah. Still no tell when he's going to come back. I didn't seem very clear at the presser how much longer he's going to be out for, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely miss old Stu.
There was someone saying that he misses the Scottish League and he's homesick. He wants to go back, but
here's the thing. I can't remember whether it was Tom Leach or was or Total Saints, but they did say that to Ralph. What's going on with Stu? There seems to be rumours in the press boxes that he wants to leave, and it's just this injury that's going on for longer and longer and longer, and it's just sort of not getting back to where it needs to be.
Yeah,
but it's just we just miss him, which again calls out for maybe I think that we are really missing a creative midfielder.
Yes.
And I think that's something to be heavily looking for.
Which is strange because we were, I've done a lot of opposition shows and they all seemed to be chatting about Musa Djenepo being a really tricky, creative midfield player, and yet he hasn't featured. I think he's been involved in some community projects back home and doing stuff like that, which is great.
From what Ralph says, apparently there was like a family thing that he had to return home for.
Okay.
So I think it was maybe a bit more serious and a bit more, that on top of an injury, it's just sort of kept him out of the side a bit longer.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing about Musa is that I've been saying for the last two, he's a player that needs to come into form quickly because he's had so long at the club now. Was it 3-4 years he's now been with us? And we've not seen, 3, and we've not seen much of a return from it. He was just starting to play this new sort of defensive position this season. And he starting to look a bit of shape, and then we haven't seen him in so long, and I'm starting to get worried. It's a bit like Buffal, where you would see him in a short burst, and he might be in form or he might not be in form, but he was never here long enough, played long enough to get an idea of what it was. So, it's difficult with Musa.
But he's not conceded a penalty yet.
No, he hasn't. That is a big upgrade.
Progress.
Big upgrade.
So I'm just basically moving these around to make it look more and more like a Christmas tree now. So I'm going to take this off the screen. But let's lock this in. And this is what we think is going to happen. This is what we think is going to happen. Jack thinks it's going to be Longy up top.
No,
I'm
no.
dubious.
No, Mike, you go with what you think he's going to start. You put whatever you want on there. Obviously, I'm wrong because apparently Long's never going to start, and our defense is amazing. So let's.
It won't look that different. I just think it might be someone other than Shane Long, and we'll see more of this. That's what I think. That's what I think. But I know there's a lot of talk in the chat section, so I'm going to leave it as it is, and it looked nice and Christmassy, and we all like Christmas, and it looks like. So that's what we're locking in. There we go.
Yeah.
Happy? Good. Fantastic. Thank you for all your comments on that. Right. What's next? Score predictions.
That's the one.
And I went first last time, so it's definitely your turn to go first.
Right.
Isn't it?
Yeah, mate. It's going to be an absolutely reasonable prediction because we are going to an away day and I will ask for something sensible. So,
before you do so, as always, stick in your score predictions in the chat section, and Jack and I will be going through those straight after we've given ours, just so we can influence your decision. No, that's not why we go first. It's just so you can have time to put in your score predictions and be influenced by us. No.
Absolutely. Take what I say for gospel.
Yeah. No.
Because Wednesday night we will see a 2-0 victory to Southampton.
You said sensible.
I did say sensible.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You heard me. We're gonna go to Palace. We're gonna get a clean sheet.
Okay.
And we're gonna get 2 goals. And you know where they're gonna come from? They're gonna come from James Ward-Prowse's boot, and they're gonna come from Nathan Redmond's boot.
Wow.
It's gonna be amazing.
What, Prowse from outside the box?
Yeah.
But not a free kick.
No, it is going to be a free kick, but it's going to be a Matt Letizia flicker volley free kick. Just.
Okay. Yeah.
We are going on an away day on Wednesday, and we're going to win.
Yeah.
And we're going to get absolutely levered once we do it. And it's going to be a problem for our families when we come home because we will be lively.
So in our minds, we would have had that result anyway. So
yeah, win, lose or draw, I will come home in that state.
But yeah, you'll come home with a clean sheet.
For the sake of the story and how I want it to go in my head, I'm going to go 2-0.
Okay, love it. I love it. I'm not too far away from you on my score prediction.
You say the score I think you're going to say. I'm just going to start saying we can't say that either. I'm going to start taking that score away from you.
2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. I'd love it to be more.
Scum, subhuman scum.
But I just think, the sort of players that are in form at Palace at the moment, they're very dangerous. And, we always tend to concede a goal to Palace at some stage. And we're going to need to score a couple of goals to win this game, at least. So that's why I'm going to go with 2-0. 2-1, sorry.
Oh, you said 2-0. Hey, look at
See? That's why you went first, to influence me.
Away days with the boys, away days with the boys.
Absolutely. Salisu. Right. It's time for us to go through the chat section score predictions. Oh, Jack, I'm seeing a lot of draws in here.
Don't read them out then. Simples.
It's a free and fair forum, and people.
Whoever said that? Whoever said this was a free and fair forum.
Yeah, it's about as fair as the Grand Prix was yesterday. Did you see that? Shocking.
Do you know what? Shocking. It's about as fair as having a Champions League draw and having another one because I didn't quite like how it went.
Yeah, we had Messi versus Ronaldo for just a second, and it was like, oh no, someone can't count.
By the way, can you explain to me what happened at the F1 yesterday? Because as somebody who doesn't watch it, I was just like on Twitter, like, oh, something happened.
Yeah, just briefly. Effectively, there was a crash, And then the safety car came out. I don't know why I'm talking about this on air, but here we go. Safety car came out, and then basically Lewis had been out all race, struggling on knackered tyres, and Verstappen had been able to pit a couple of times in between, sticking brand new, fresh, very soft tyres on. And then there was a crash right at the end, like 5 laps before the end, and effectively they then allowed all the cars between Verstappen and Hamilton to pass, but instead of letting the entire group unlap itself, they just let the ones between those 2 cars. So then Hamilton had 1 lap to try and stop a very lightweight car with very, very soft tyres, very fresh tyres, from overtaking in 1 lap, and it was a little bit rough on the poor fella. So yeah, absolute scandal. Can we go back to talk about football now?
Sounds like something that I would not enjoy, so I'm glad I didn't watch.
No, it was pretty shocking, really. But that world are absolutely loving it because we got controversy. People are watching us.
Absolutely.
It's a bit like Premier League and VAR. They absolutely loved it. Right. Anyway, here we go. The first one. Tom, what are you doing? Right, Mr. Spot, are you both going tomorrow? It's Wednesday.
See this?
Yes.
See this, mate? This is a fence right here. This is a fence. You could be on this side of it, and you could be on this side of it.
Tom, you know the repercussion to this. You always been
but not this side of it.
Okay.
This doesn't work. This isn't fun.
Is on this part between me and Jack, that's where Tom is.
Get out of this. This is the never zone. There's no point. No point in this bit here.
Jack, there's more. It's not just Tom. Lord Ben is also going for a 1-1. This now is going for a 1-1.
In the crease.
A point would be a decent result, to be fair. There we go. Aiden's going for a 3-1 Saints. I nearly said 3-1. I'd love it to be 3-1.
Good for you, man.
I'd love it to be 3-1. But Lordo does think Teller's going to score. David Baker's tough away win. Redis to score 1-0. Whoa, that'd be the way to do it. Ethan's with you, member of the channel. Details how to be a member of the channel in the description below. Go check it out. It supports us and helps us keep the lights on. Thank you very much. Josh is going for a 1-0 to the Saints.
Beautiful.
Dex is still going on at Long. Long won't get into Tottenham's team. Wow, brutal. Cathal's going for a 2-0 Palace. Ouch. Ouch.
I mean, you're not on the fence, so fair play.
Yeah. Fair enough. Andrew, I'd certainly take a 2-0 win. Well, let's see if we can make that happen for you.
Put your house on it.
Dex, don't do that. It's a silly thing to do. There was a bet on the UFC for over $300,000. Did you see that?
I feel like Nunez lost so many people, so much money on the weekend, and that makes me very happy.
It's almost like it. No, I won't go there. Kind of did just by saying that, didn't I? Mark Richards going for a 2-1 Saints, bullet header from Lianco and Shane Long's backside. Yeah, take them however they come. Chloe's going for a 2-1 Southampton win. Same as you in it. Ward-Prowse and Redmond.
Ward-Prowse and Redmond, that's what we're saying.
That's what you said. Scott Johnson's going for a 2-1 optimistic Shane Long to score. Oh dear. No, I'm not going to put that up. Everyone can read the next one in chat, so it's fine. Alex is going for 2-1 Saints, Lianco brace, both in injury time.
He gets the clicks, guys. He gets the clicks.
Tim B's not on the fence. He's going 3-0 Palace. Jay, it's a very short username. I like it. Going for 3-1 Palace. Philip Blake, 2-1 Saints, Long with the winner. God, that was best. If that happens, we're on the pitch. Show lots of scores. We're on the pitch.
I don't need to go back to Selhurst.
That'll be done. 1-0 clutch win, not just to be complete for off the bench small bone screener.
Love that. Absolutely love that.
That'd be pretty fairy tale, wouldn't it?
Absolutely love that.
We always beat. We don't. I think last season away at Palace,
we always beat Palace. You just read it. Why are you questioning it? Move on.
We always beat
Palace.
Like and subscribe. We always beat Palace. There we go. James going for 2-1
See,
Southampton.
2-1. We beat Palace right there.
MK's right with you. 2-0. Question from Dexter. You can answer later, Jack. Why does Jack hate draws?
I told you, right?
No.
We've explained the never zone, right?
Yeah. And now I'm down to the F1 chat here. Is that have I done all the? Yeah, there we go. So there we go. That is everyone's thoughts on the score. Bit mixed there, wasn't it? There was a lot of people chatting about a draw, but there's some optimism there as well.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah.
barely.
This is shocking. I've just read it. Jack would hate my mates. Go to away days with them and put money on it. Does that guarantee a good night? You're just like, but ooh.
I have mixed feelings on that. Number one, I never put Southampton in a bet, regardless when you win, lose or draw, because it will never be what I want. Second of all, because of that, if you put Southampton to lose, I don't mind it, because if we win, then you've lost money, and I think that's even funnier. Yeah. And then if we do lose, your mates can buy the drinks.
Okay, I like that.
Win for everyone.
Yeah. So
I'm just not that callous and heartless.
Some thoughts here on the F1 stuff, just so I'm bringing it up. How can 4 cars pass Pacific? My thoughts exactly. I was genuinely shocked by that. That they didn't allow all the cars through or none, and I thought they should have allowed none through. But unfortunately, they wanted to have an exciting end.
Problem with the F1 is they're always trying to walk it in. You know what was Wenger doing, bringing on Hamilton that early? You know, just didn't think it through.
Oh dear, fantastic stuff. Question here down. Are we guys going? Yes, we are going. And we'll be in the stadium pretty early. So if you want to give your thoughts on the season so far, I'm thinking of mixing up the vlog a bit. Come find us. Because it would be great to get some Saints fans' opinion on how they think the season's gone and put some faces to these names on this screen here. So yeah, I'm sure I see some familiar faces. Away days are always fun with Southampton. Fantastic. Right, that is our score prediction. So now it's time we get on to this discussion. I basically put a panel out, a vote on this earlier. I'm going to have a look now. Earlier it was dead 50-50, and I was expecting that. Basically after the Arsenal game, Twitter was going absolutely nuts, and there were lots of chat of people saying you conceded 50 goals away from home in a calendar year. You dropped how many points? 70 points from leading position, or 71 points from leading positions.
Yeah.
You know, this is terrible. Surely we've got three wins this season, but we've also got a lot of draws this season as well. And so ultimately the vote was in for Ralph in or Ralph out. It's 34 votes currently. Someone's even liked the post, so thanks for that. Getting with the program, loving that. And as it stands at the moment, it's 59% Ralph in and 41% Ralph out. Jack, you're still pretty much Ralph in, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the past couple of days I've had people ask that, and I've seen it go up and down everywhere, and it factors into a few things. First of all, the simplest one is who you going to get in? Who you going to get in instead? Yeah. And I said to you, the first post I read where looking for that, somebody said Michael Carrick. I thought, you stupid. Such a stupid opinion. Why would you even say Michael Carrick? What a dumb thing to say, first of all. And also, that's the very first name I read. I know I don't have to read the rest of it. There's just no one up there. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you said to me, Pot should come in, of course, I'm not an idiot. Yeah. If you tell me, I don't know, who'll be up to the level that would come in, like, who else would we get? Who's our option? Like, let's say Frank Lampard. Actually, not a bad option, but he'd need to bring in a lot. And I do think that's the one thing Lampard would bring would be a lot. Then after that, it's just like nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing, no real names.
Just a quick thought on Lampard. I think he would be good for the youth academy. And I
Yeah.
think because that's what effectively he did at Chelsea and sort of bring up the likes of those. He wasn't so great with working with the superstars. We don't have any of those. We have, and it must be difficult, I have to say, for Southampton squad to hear from the board that effectively our aspiration is stay in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And it's been said on a few occasions this season so far. Effectively, that is our goal. We can't compete with the riches that have just come in, the likes of Newcastle. Other clubs are spending a lot of money just to have pretty mediocre sides. I mean, you look at Aston Villa, Everton.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only 2 points above us. I mean, they're effectively in a situation where they have to do something, and they have to spend a bit more wisely at the moment. I do see Dexter's coming here, 8 wins in the whole of 2021, and yes, that is terrible. That is absolutely appalling. But it's a case of, well, what is the other option? And I think the beginning of this season, had we held on to the victory against Leicester, the victory against Leicester, the victory against Brighton that could have been, and not lose the way we did to Norwich, we'd be well in the top half of the table right now. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how mad tight it is. So I just
Yeah.
think, with the run of form that we've had of late, it just the table looks terrible. And Ralph was being questioned on his presser earlier, and it is just like of all these stats that get thrown at him. Effectively, you can make numbers say whatever you want to, and sound terrible, and then suddenly actually, oh, that sounds pretty good. In regards to other aspects. So I just think he's getting a bit tired of it. I don't think they'll sack him because isn't he just signed a new contract as well?
So he's this is just on your contract. The board won't sack him. Here's the thing. In the past few years, let's say with Hughes, with Pellegrini, with Puel, we all realised that there was a problem with the manager,
Yeah.
and because he should be getting more out of that squad than what he's getting. But
Mhm.
now I look at the squad and I think this squad need to be giving Ralph more. This manager is asking more from you than what they're giving, and it's for the first time in a few years where I look at it and go, this is the squad that's not playing to this man's standards.
Yeah.
And can't meet his fitness. They can't meet his levels. So we need we need players that are the next grade up.
Yeah.
The Premier League is such different gravy now that it is almost like two leagues where you have the top 10 and you have the bottom 10. And if your aspirations as a state is to be within that bottom 10, and that's fine, but you can still need more than what we've got.
Mm-hmm.
You still need more than what we've got because this will barely get you through it. And when you look at like Newcastle right now, okay, they weren't great on the weekend, but you can see the upswing a little bit. You can see the momentum going in their favour. Norwich, you can see the things going in their favour. With us, it's just that thing again of it's crumbling and breaking down.
Yeah.
And something needs to come in. And I know that we're looking for new ownership. That is something that needs to come in because listen, like, we can all complain about Gal, but he is going, he is leaving. We all know this because that's what it's already been said. It's just a matter of when it comes in.
Yeah.
So it's just I think Simmons and the people that run the club are actually really good at what they do. And I think you look at Timo, amazing business. I think our transfer window is still fantastic this season, given the money spent. And also, if you look at the team that plays against, I think it was the Arsenal game, I think the full starting figure was about 20 mil.
Right.
I think I've seen, team sheets we go through it, and it's just like, well, Caballero cost nothing. Timo cost 5. Benedek cost 5. Stevens cost less than $1 million.
Yeah.
Peru was 5. It's nothing. So if they had that bit extra budget, if we went from buying 15 mil players to 25 to 30 mil players, there would be such a big improvement in this squad. So right now it's just a struggle to wade through this part and see what we get with this new ownership.
Yeah. And I think we need to buy clever. And when you pick up players for £5 million, and they do what the likes of Tino Livramento have done. But you look at the stats in our games, and we get a lot of shots on target, and there are a lot of clubs in this league that walk away from games without a single shot on target from a game. and yet not question their manager as much as we do. And I think that is ultimately down to the players, and whether or not the players are just simply not good enough. The fact that the systems are working, it's just the fact that we aren't putting the chances away. So that has to come down to the players.
The other side of it was like beforehand is that okay, so these players aren't playing to a good enough level. They're not where they are. Besides Ralph, where else is the coaching staff at? Like I said to you before, but today I was sort of just like having a look at what I think Ralph out, look through the coaching staff, and just to see what we've got. We've got Dave Watson's a goalkeeper. We've got Cal. This is our first team coaching staff. It's Dave Watson's a goalkeeper. Good. Calvin Davis is a goalkeeper. Craig Fleming was a defender. Andrew Sparks was a goalkeeper. Richie Klitzberger was a midfielder, and Ralph was the striker. So the most attacking knowledge in the team is through Ralph. And I feel like that's quite a big job for someone for what we've got right now. You got all these strikers that aren't performing. That's either these strikers aren't good enough at this level, or the coaching of them isn't good enough. Now they've got the pressing drilled into them, and they've got that style of play into them, what their job is in this squad. But when it comes to actually that fine, how many times have we seen us get to that final third, get a shot off, and it just be a P roller?
Yeah.
That happens time and time and time again, that we get there, get the shot off, and it is a P roller straight at the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper gets too easy. Just easy. So to think, let's bring in an attacking coach. Let's bring in someone, no offense to Calvin Davis, but is he the only Saints legend? Like, would it hurt the team to just have Ricky Lambert give him a few finishing drills?
Yeah.
Like, let's just sort that out. I feel like there could be more offered in other areas rather than just Ralph out, this out, this out. There is a bigger plan there. You can all see it when it works. Those first 20 minutes of every game, we're like, yeah, there it is. It works. That works right there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, then it goes away. And that is in the game matchmaking. Ralph's fantastic going into a game. Going to a game, he sets that team up perfectly. It's then those changes within a game. And, he's learned to close it off defensively. We can.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean people will still get through that. And it's just when you close it off, you still need to attack and score goals and put away chances.
Yeah, you do.
So let's get that coaching staff upgraded.
It's true, because that is the aspect that worries me, is the fact that the coaching staff behind Ralph just doesn't appear to be there. It's almost like he's a one-man show with a few aspects sort of missing from his team. And like you say, if they're all goalkeeper coaches, then it's, doesn't really add up to too much. I mean, ultimately, looking at the goals of the side and stayed at, it's in recent presses that they've given out. I mean, do you see this being any kind of a possibility of, the dreaded R words?
No. Like I say, I feel like I've said it all season. I still believe that we're a better side than at least 6 teams. It's just it's just getting those results in.
Yeah.
And these are the games that we need to get done. We've still got a complete other half of the season left to go.
Yeah.
The way that we've played, if you were to take the whole first half of the season, those first 16 games so far, it's like, well, if we can pick up what we've got 4 games left of this one, if we can pick up another 6 points,
yeah,
you would take that again. You would take, say we end get the Christmas with 21 points, 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
You end the season with 45, maybe 46, close to 50 points. That's unfortunately probably where we're going to be this season.
Makes the difference, doesn't it?
But it will make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, looking at Dexter coming here, we're 5th in first half performances and 19th in the second half based on results. Like we said earlier, the amount of games in fact, I put up a TikTok earlier that basically sums up our season in 10 seconds. And it's the first half going, yeah, and the second half just like, how has this happened? But we just capitulate in second half. And I think it's down to player fitness. We just forget to play football and we just resort to this kick it long, clear it our lines. I mean, that game against Brighton was just so bad to watch. The last 15 minutes, you would just be amazed that we weren't the side that were down to 8, in terms of the way we were playing. Brighton did not look like they were down to 10.
It does come down to fit. The crazy thing is when not to obviously listen, I'm no one to be talking about fitness. keep almost passing out wearing a mask again. Like my health is not in a good spot.
Yeah, but
But
you don't
you
get paid
compare
60 grand a week to do it, Jack. So don't feel too bad.
when you compare how our front four, let's say our starting wingers and our two forwards, and you compare that to how the Liverpool front forward look. You're like, these four aren't going to get tired, and these four will.
Right.
You can just there's just another level of like fitness to be able to play this game,
Yeah.
and and to double that, you need to have secondary players that are also that fit. You almost need those interchangeable players so you can play one week, one next week, because they need to be as good as each other, but to be able to make the distance throughout the games.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need a few upgrades. There's every so often there's a few times when a club has to just buy in and just go for that thing that will make it work. And I just kind of feel like with Southampton, some fit attacking players that are league proven could do something. We know can do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that needs to happen.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm sure this debate is going to go on and on and on. But the difference will be is the fact that picking up results against the likes of Brentford. I mean, I think Brentford have had a great season. They started very, very well, but they have some aspects of their game that look very exposable. But they are a very aggressive side who will get you on the counter attack and punish you, and sort of get you in all kinds of trouble. So it'll be the games against those sides beneath us that will define our season, and whether or not we can just sort of keep it fairly comfortable or make it a little too exciting towards the end of the season. But we shall see. We shall see.
We
indeed.
shall see.
But like I said, that debate of Ralph in, Ralph out is going to go on and on and on. And I'm just going to check it again, see where it is. 59.41. Refreshing. Oh,
Yeah, mate.
It's 61.39. So people are still Ralph in. Of the
That's
majority
the thing, mate.
of a 38 vote. Stop the count. That's enough.
So here's the thing, like when you see the bigger picture at Southampton, you see that there's something we're working towards, and it's better that we work towards that than completely start afresh.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that we're aiming for, so let's keep going for it, because we know that the end game of that works. We see it work for the bigger teams. We see it work for it just works. And there's once we get to that point, there's no we can change and adapt and sort of move with the game as it goes forward. But there's no point in completely refreshing this again, starting with a whole new manager, work with a whole new system, or a manager that's going to have to come in and work with Ralph's system.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you think it's bad now, if you think it's bad now, imagine then trying to get this team to play a whole new way of football, unlearning everything they've done. Like it's either you're gonna have someone playing Ralph ball not the same as Ralph with a whole new system, which will implode, or you have them change completely. I don't think they can change on a dime like that. Look how long it's taken them to play like this.
Yeah, it's taken a while, and they're still learning. Every single game.
And maybe a new club psychologist, and maybe a new therapist. I feel like if a team that loses 9-0 that many times should probably have a psychologist on hand.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be
difficult. I think maybe there's a few players that probably could really help from having that sort of thing.
Yeah, scared of rain.
We watch a lot of Ted Lasso over here, so we're pretty much taking everything from that.
Yeah. Wow, we got an hour and 3 minutes into this show, the preview for Crystal Palace away, and that's the first mention of Ted Lasso. I'm almost proud of ourselves.
I mean, you're going to wear a fake mustache on Aviators on Wednesday, right?
I can have a sign that says "Believe." I'm just going to smash it every
Mate,
time.
if we're not going as Lasso and Coach Beard, then why are we going?
It's going to have a sign that says "Lianco, can I have your shirt?" And on the other side, it's going to have "Believe." Sorry. Anyone who watched
the real problem is going to be if we walk past that Crystal Palace club shot and they got Richmond FC gear in there, because it's not going to feel right leaving an away game with a shirt I've bought from the club shop.
Yeah.
It's not going to look good sat in the away section with a Crystal Palace carrier bag.
Although if they haven't started doing that, then they've lost it really, because they're missing a trick there. That'd be a phenomenal move.
If
Yeah,
anybody's got any goal, they'll be sat outside the stadium selling hooky ones. Like, I'm just saying that now. Like,
yeah. The footballers' live key rings, yeah, and all that kind of stuff.
I remember I saw Food Fighters at Wembley once, and on the way out, I bought one of those T-shirts, and it said Foos Fighters, and I loved it. I love that T-shirt so much. You know, Foos Fighters, they're great.
Oh dear, good stuff, good stuff. Right, well that pretty much sums us up for today. Adrian's going to be looking out for that sign. You have to factor something in now. You have to think of something. But thank you so much to everyone who's joined us for this preview of Palace away. As always, please stick in your thoughts on the upcoming game in the comment section if you're watching us on replay, and also your score predictions as well. It'll be fun to go and check back through those. But any final thoughts, Jack? Before I hit the end broadcast.
Are you bringing the cans or am I bringing the cans?
I'll bring the cans. Punk IPA.
Tories on tour, Tories on tour.
Sorry,
Get the titties, boys. IPAs, please, sir.
Yeah,
You got the Carlsberg?
Yeah,
No, sir. I have the blue dog, and I have the San Pellegrinos.
Oh dear, said too much. Said too much. Oh dear. Fantastic. Well, thank you again. If you're going, like I said, if you're going up to the game, safe travels, and come find us in the stands and let us know your thoughts on the season so far. It'd be great to
Big
see.
up the women's team. Big up the women's team.
Oh yeah,
for smashing Portsmouth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pompey get battered 2-1 at home. Doesn't sound just as good. Pompey get battered 2-1 at home.
2-1 at home. Sort of home. Eastleigh, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
But they're going to be playing during this game at Fratton for the league. So,
big games.
Yeah. Why'd they do that? Can't they? Because I would have loved to have gone to that.
Well, it's all just confusing with the women's team. Like the fact that they don't put constant updates on. Like the fact that I can't watch the games. I want to watch the women's. I want to watch the women's team. Let me watch them.
It's getting women's football's coming into fruition. It's sort of appearing on TV, which is fantastic.
If you gave me a double billing of you get to watch Southampton men's team play, and then you get to watch women's team afterwards, I'd take it because it's like double your money. I might be happy when I leave. Oh yeah, but
yeah, fantastic. You still there, Jack?
I am still here.
No, you're all quiet then.
Yeah. Well, I just talked a lot. I thought I could give you a chance to say goodbye to everyone.
Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone who's joined us here for the show this evening. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, if you are going up to the game, safe travels. I hope to see you there. But as always, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And me and Jack will see you in the next one. All right, see ya.